we're going to make a fall wreath. So let's talk about the supplies that we're going to need to make this fall wreath. You're going to need a sign. You're going to need a ring board. You're going to need your choice of ribbons. Okay. I got some pumpkins from Hobby Lobby. We're going to use 21-inch mesh. We're going to need our measure buddy, our easy bow maker, and some pipe cleaners. Alright, so first things first, let's get our board loaded. And it's easier if you're using pipe cleaners, you just fold them in half. And of course, if you're going to use zip ties, you can do that as well. Whether you use zip ties or pipe cleaners, it's just a personal preference, I believe. So we're loading our pipe cleaners in every other hole. So you'll need 8 pipe cleaners or zip ties for the outside, then 8 for the inside. Alright, so now we have our board loaded. We're going to set that aside, and now we're going to cut our mesh. Now, if you want to, you can use a fresh roll of mesh. I just happen to have leftover mesh. And the first thing I'm going to do, because it's leftover, is I'm going to give myself a straight edge with my mesh. All right. And now that we've got a straight edge, I'm going to cut each piece 11 inches. So we're going to start on the outside. Now, the one good thing about fall, and people will add raffia, expensive meshes, and things like that to get the appearance of, hey, we're going to do this and we're going to embrace the fray. So this is like cutting a 10-inch piece, 21 inches. So we're just going to ruffle this up the middle. And when you ruffle this 21-inch mesh, it looks different than when you ruffle 10-inch mesh. It curls different. And obviously, the reason it works best with jute mesh, because jute mesh doesn't fray as much, and we want it to fray a little bit, but not a whole lot. So if you were doing this with a fresh roll of mesh, you can get 2 wreaths out of a 21-inch roll of mesh, cutting it 10 inches. Like I said, since I'm using leftover mesh, I just cut it 11 inches. So like I said, this will give a kind of neat effect of hay and whatnot without having to put more material into your wreath. So this is good for like when you make scarecrows. Alright, so Lori's got a ribbon similar to this one in stock. She's got a good selection of striped ribbons. Alright. And we're going to cut our ribbon tails 14 inches. So I cut my ribbon tails 14 inches, and we're going to add a pair of these to each tie. Alright, now that we got the outside row, we'll move on into the inside row. See how the ruffle looks different with the 21-inch mesh, y'all? Alright, so before I put my ribbon on, I want to put my sign on. And the reason I want to put my sign on is because it's square. I'm not the biggest fan of seeing the square corners. I kind of want to show you how I go about hiding them. Okay, so I'm going to kind of tilt my sign a little bit. Because, and I'm going to show y'all why. If you turn your sign like this, you kind of end up with a four-corner look. And when you end up with a four-corner look, you take a round wreath and you accidentally make it square. Okay, so I'm going to pivot it just a little bit so that my pipe cleaners are not on the corners. So basically, it'll be between the two pipe cleaners. Like I said, it's just pivoted a little bit, not much, which I'll show y'all here in a minute. Okay. So like I said, it's not tilted bad because there's the top of my wreath. And now we'll start putting in our ribbon. And since we put in our sign first, it's going to make it so that we avoid the look of sharp corners, which you will see because our ribbon's going to kind of lay over our sign instead of it'll take that sharp corner look off that sign, which I will see here in just a little bit as I put ribbon on. Okay, so you notice how I took my ribbon and I just laid it kind of nicely to where it was going up over my corners to soften the edge on those corners. So now it's not square looking and it's more in the wreath. That's me personally, the appearance that I prefer. We are going to use the Easy Bow Maker. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take two pipe cleaners and twist them together. And I'm going to lay them in there. And what I do to get my pipe cleaners out of the way is I just wrap them under my board. Okay, one of the nice things about the Easy Bow Maker is you can use it to decide how big you want your bow to be. Because a lot of people are like, well, how big do I know? Okay. So obviously this is the center and this is going to be your loop. So you kind of lay it here and that's going to help you say, okay, well that's how big I want my bow to be. Now before I put mine in, I like to give it a twist before I put my first tail in. I don't know why, it's just my habit. Okay, so I'm gonna make 7-inch loops tonight to start. And then once you make your 7-inch loop, hold your ribbon in, slide it into between the pegs, and then you make your twist. Okay, so you've got your 7-inch loop, your twist, and then once again, slide your ribbon in first, make your loop, and then pinch your ribbon down for your loops. Like I said, for some reason, I guess just force a habit, with my first pinch and twist, I like to just go ahead and put it in. And now I'm going to do a 6-inch loop. I like to go down an inch every time. I'm going to do 2 sets of loops with the green. And then we're going to bring that mustard color in with some striped pizzazz. Alright, so check this out. So now that we got all our ribbon, twist your pipe cleaner around, that way it's easier to get it out. And tighten it down, and then pull. And then I fluff mine on my wreath, y'all. A lot of people do it, but like, I just prefer to fluff my bow on my wreath. It's easier for me. Alright, as always, I start at the bottom of my bow, and if you notice, I take my ribbon tails and I kind of curl them between my fingers, Because your ribbon tails are part of your bow, so I curl them to give them life and make them fluffy. Alright, so to get these on a Unique in the Creek wreath, we're going to pull the stem out. And then we're going to take pipe cleaners and some hot glue. Instead. We need a little bit more cushion to support our pumpkins, y'all. Because I don't want them pulling so flat into my wreath. So I have a little bit of green mesh, leftover mesh. Here we go again. I love leftover mesh. We're just gonna put these around the outside, y'all. I just want a little cushion for my pumpkin to sit on. Or should I say lean on? I'm just rolling the spirals up. You're basically just taking them, y'all. And that's what I like about leftover mesh. Just roll it up. Just rolling it and then fold it in half. That just lets you know where center is. Yep, I'm just folding it to find the center, to crunch it up and put it in the tie. Now we can add our pumpkins. We needed that little extra something something. It also gives a little bit of cushion because it's going to help hold the pumpkin up. Because look, y'all, don't do this. I don't care. Like, don't do this. Okay. Don't do that. Don't, like, make pumpkins stare at people. Don't do that. It freaks people out. Three corners. And we're doing it to help soften the corners just a little bit more. Alright, now that we got something for the pumpkin to sit on. Okay, watch what happens here. Before, when I pulled it through, it was going to be flat. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my pipe cleaner that's on this side, and I'm going to pull this down further than the one in front, so my pumpkin will tilt back. Like so. And if you have trouble doing that, just take and poke your hole in the side to tilt your pumpkin. Pretty easy solution to that. Last pumpkin in. It's a ring board. We're gonna kind of tilt that bad boy that way a little bit. That way they're not all dead on. And that's actually the top of my wreath. And then if you were going to add the sunflowers, you just kind of go between. I'll show you real quick. Kind of I might add these because they're kind of like the mustard yellow sunflower. Kind of doesn't look bad. Also, too, when you're adding your florals, don't let them stare people directly in the eye. Okay. And two, y'all, when you get your flowers and they're like, move them. Make them look better. Fluff your florals, y'all. Should we add the sunflowers? I think so. I kind of think so, yes. Yes, we'll add the sunflowers. I like it. So let me grab my hot glue gun. The sunflowers are lightweight enough that we'll just hot glue those in under the sign really tight. With a lot of hot glue. And then as we add those, we're going to clip off the paper cleaners. Because we're done, don't need them anymore. And then, when you're totally done and finished, get your ribbon back out and fluffed. Don't leave it, y'all.